So this is Agnes. She's kind of close to this Celadon color. Well, she's a little darker, isn't she? But she does have beautiful feathers, doesn't she? Maybe just this, the outer edge of, oops, the outer edge of her feathers. Let's see if she wants to make art. Unlikely. There's a little studio tour with chicken. You want to play with some crayons? I guess not. Okay. I use this Celadon from Blick Matte Acrylics quite a bit. Everyone loves it. I mean, it's this beautiful sort of warmish, slightly greenish gray. But you can mix this color in a number of ways. I start with white, add a little bit of black, and then add a little bit of yellow. And it turns out you can use a number of different yellows. I'm using this Indian yellow hue. Start with the white, add a little bit of black, a tiny bit more, and then I'm adding this yellow. Okay, now that gets me something fairly close to this Celadon. This is a little lighter value, so I can keep going and trying adding a little more black, a little more yellow, a little more yellow. See what that does. Pretty close, right? And then since I have the different components, I can alter it a bit. I can add a little more black, get a little darker value, add even more yellow, get a little brighter. I can add more white, get it lighter, and so forth. So I can get myself a kind of a range of hues here. Another thing I sometimes do is to add a little of this green gold. So I've got my basic Celadon here. I'm going to mix up a little bit more. Okay, that's close. And I might want to give it a little more of a greenish tinge. Now this is sort of like looking like a paint sample from the hardware store. But that's, you know, it's a little different from that. Another thing I like to try is different yellows and see what kind of difference that makes. So here I'm starting with the white, adding the black, getting the value somewhere correct. Maybe I should put a little more Celadon on this. There. And this time let me try the Hansa Yellow Medium, which is a pretty middle of the road, oops, kind of primary yellow. Alright, there's already some in there. Ooh, that's getting really greeny right away, so I'll just gray that down a bit. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna get some of this on this sheet for comparison. And then, ooh, yeah. I'm gonna try this Darlide yellow, which is sort of a deep, slightly orangey yellow. Okay, start from scratch. We got the white, little black, chunk of yellow. Ooh. Okay, now that's pretty yellow. I think I'm gonna go back on the white. A little black. A little paint our sample here. Yeah, it's quite a bit different, but it's still in that range. It's just a little more sort of beigey rather than greenish. So what if I take our sample with the Dark Yellow and add a little green gold? Yeah, it's still quite a bit more yellow than the purchased Celadon or the one with Hansa yellow, or the one with Indian yellow. So if I really wanted to experiment here, I might add a little bit of a blue. I'm going to use this phthalo turquoise. Now I'm totally out on a limb. I don't know where this is going. But it's only a little bit of paint and some paper. That, to me, just on the palette, looks a little bit more like this one, which is the Hansa yellow. Now, it's still quite a bit more yellow than the one with Hansa yellow. A little bit more yellow than the original Celadon. But it's a little less yellow than the one with the Dark Yellow. And so as not to waste paint, I've got my original Celadon, I've got that first one we mixed with the Indian yellow, and then I'm just, whoops, using the leftovers here